Check it out, guys. This object detection model that I'm running right here beats YOLO. It's called the RF-DETR. It could detect objects like, for example, I'm a person. Here I'm holding a cup. And then we have a cell phone right here. So it's perfect for real-time applications. It could even detect objects that it hasn't ever seen before, which I'll talk about later on. So this right here is a motor that I'm holding. But we'll talk about how you could fine-tune this model to detect foreign objects that it has never seen before. If you're new here, make sure to check out my channel. I have a bunch of resources on robotics and AI. I'll leave a bunch of useful links in the video description, and subscribe for more. So this model right here is a SOTA real-time object detection model. You can see that it's been tested on the COCO dataset as well as the RF-100VL dataset. So these dataset are benchmarks that they use to see if the object detection model is up to the performance standards as we expect. And you can see that what they have is it exceeds 60 AP. So what's significant about this is if you look at this image here, you actually see that previously the other models like YOLO 11, the other DETR models, this one actually beats the previous ones, especially in terms of the performance. So if you look on the y-axis, this is the MAP. It adds a little bit of latency here, but if you're shooting for accuracy, this is going to be the model for you. And you can see on the right, this is on the RF-100-VL dataset. So this is a benchmark, and you can see the RF-DETR on the purple here has the highest performance. So if I move my big head out of the way, you can see more of this graph right here. So if we come down, you can see that this is some of the specific numbers that it's hitting, and you can see that it's pretty good compared with the other models. Now to use the code is pretty straightforward. You gotta first pip install RF-DETR, and just with a simple few lines of code, you could get a program up and running. Here we're using Supervision. It's a super nice visualization tool which was used to make the annotation. And you can see that just with a few lines, you set up the model, you get a picture. Previously, I was using a real webcam live streaming, but you could use it for images as you can see in this demo code. And then you go ahead and plot it and you can see the results. So these are some examples of where it detected various objects, as you can see right here. What's interesting about this model though is that if you know that the previous object detection models, they're CNN based, so it's a completely different type of architecture. But this one, the RF-DETR, they use a transformer based type architecture where in the center here, you can see there's an encoder, and then on the output, there's a decoder. So this is a type of architecture that a lot of new models nowadays are using. And this one proves to be a very useful way to implement object detection for real-time applications. I do want to make a quick comment is this graph here. They tested it on the Tensor RT10. The GPU that I was using has a pretty low spec. It's the NVIDIA 1650 Ti, so that's the reason why it's not so fast. But if you have a better GPU, then your performance will definitely be much better. Now, earlier I mentioned, for example, if you want to detect a foreign object like this motor right here, you have to do some fine-tuning for your model for it to recognize the object. So I'll be showing you some of the steps you need to take. So good thing is that RoboFlow, they have a notebook here. Just look up how to fine-tune RF-DETR on detection dataset. You're going to find this notebook that will get you up and running pretty quickly. So depending on where your dataset is from, you could go ahead and download it, or you could create your own. But the main thing, like any training, is you have to make sure the format of your data set is in the correct format. You want to make sure you have all the files that you need. But to actually train it, it's very simple. You have a few lines of code. The core logic or the core line of code that you're running is this model.train line. And then you're going to have your training process get started. Then you're going to have some checkpoints, which will be the file, which you'll use as the actual weights that your training result has. And if you want to see the results, you go ahead and run the script here. You'll see your epoch versus your train loss. And you can see if your training is getting better and better. Ideally, you want the loss to get lower and start to plateau. So in this case, this is a pretty good graph. And if you come down here, you can see there's more visualization tools, which will help you see the AP improving here. So you want it to get higher and higher as we have more epochs, which we see is happening here. So that's a good sign. So depending on how well you want your results, you could go ahead and train it based off of the plots that you can see that I just showed you. And then once you want to do the inference on your newly trained model, you go ahead and make sure you're pointing to the right checkpoint here. Just follow these scripts down here. And then in this example is if you play Mahjong, this is what they're doing. You have the different characters. So if you use this, you could probably create a robot or some vision system to help you play Mahjong. So if you have 4 people, you need 4 people typically, and you don't have enough, maybe you could create some robots that plays Mahjong with you. But yeah, go ahead and check out this repo. It's pretty useful to help you get up and started. Now, if you don't want to miss out on any robotics and AI videos, make sure to hit that subscribe button.